Hi everyone, welcome to this reading. I have my crystal ball off to the side, so I will be scrying throughout this message. If you're new to my channel, my readings are a little different. If you're returning, welcome back. You know how we do if it doesn't resonate with you. If you're forcing the story to fit, arguing with it in any way, just leave it behind for the people who it's meant for. So channel members, you guys have a reading that's usually posted on Wednesday. This week it's going to post on Friday, so keep your eyes open for that. It was a little bit longer and it went into some pretty heavy energy dynamics, so I needed to edit some pauses out of it. So that's going to be posted on Friday, and if you're interested in channel memberships, that link is in the description box below. Okay, let's go ahead and let's get started. Taking a step aside. And allowing spirit to pass through me. Opening up to receive information. Okay. So the first thing that I'm seeing a ball. It looks like this ball's rolling down a hill. So this is speaking to me about like unstoppable motion. It's like there's something here that is in motion and it's not going to be stopped. It's like moving by the weight of its own energy at this point. So this ball came from somewhere. It started this descent from somewhere. So there's definitely something that either we left behind or something that we've changed inside of our life or inside of ourself. And now there's some sort of momentum pushing us forward. I'm seeing this hill as like having something on the bottom of it. It's like I want to say like a valley or something. And okay, and I'm just seeing a bunch of like shimmeries now. So it's the energetic terrain that we're moving to is completely different. So some of you may feel like you're absolutely stepping out of your comfort zone and making this change or leaving this thing behind. But whatever the case is, it's like I just know it has to happen. Or for some of you, it's like, wow, I initiated this and now I can't do anything to stop it if I wanted to. So there's two camps there that are happening simultaneously. One of the interesting things about the energy change that I'm feeling is that for some of you, this energy change, you know, you may have the habit of thinking that where I land is where I'm going to stay, and so it better be good. And if it isn't necessarily what you want it to be, you may be freaking out a little bit. Understand that where this energetic valley is that I'm seeing, so it's almost like this this change in our energetic landscape. It's still subject to the same rule, that rule being that change is a constant. I think that sometimes we get so used to as people because we seek the security and the comfort and the stability, many of us do anyway, and we land someplace and then we just automatically think that, you know, this better be my forever happily ever after and that nothing can possibly go wrong. But the thing is that something will inevitably happen to cause you to break free from that place as well, because change is a constant, right? We're constantly growing, we're constantly evolving. So as you make these changes and as you go to this new terrain, allow yourself the freedom and remove the pressure of feeling like you have to wind up at the right place or the place that you're going to be for the rest of your life. Remove that pressure from yourself, because sometimes we have to go through the valley, hence the valley, and it's not saying that this is necessarily the case for all of you. Some of you are going to a very beautiful sort of new energy, and we'll get into that, but it feels like sometimes we have to go through a valley in order for us to be moved along to the energy that we're meant to be in. So in other words, it's not always a clean shot from the energy that you left behind to the energy you're trying to get to. Sometimes there's little curves in the road, and there's things that we didn't expect that we have to pass through first. And the reason why is because it's a process of refinement. What's refining your resonance? It's one of the reasons why you left behind this old energy. It was no longer in your resonance. We use the word resonance a lot in the spiritual community, so let me describe what resonance actually means, right? Your resonance is your vibration. Your vibration is comprised of your beliefs, your feelings, your desires. A lot of us, we go through life with those three things out of alignment. We might feel like I deserve a better job, but deep inside we believe in poverty, right? We have a poverty mindset. And maybe we feel like, oh, I have this want and this lack. And those three things are out of alignment. And this is why we manifest more of this energy into our life. And it takes a lot of self-work and a lot of healing to get those alignments to happen in different areas of our life. And what's happening is some of you are being brought through a valley so that you can reestablish a relationship to those places within yourself, so that you can get over certain lacks, certain personal judgments, certain shames, certain guilts, that then put you in alignment with this energy that you're trying to move into. Nobody wants to hear that that's the process, but we have evidence of that. Look at your whole life, right? That's what's happening inside of our entire life. Now, I'm being shown some things here, so I do want to give that there is a little bit of a warning in terms of protecting our energy in this space, because, and I'm going to look for it here, they're showing me this card. It's on the bottom. It's called the Tall Poppy, and if you look at it, it's like an eye, and she's very vulnerable inside this poppy. You can see her. She's not really looking around at her surroundings. She's got her arms outstretched. She has to trust in the universe to a certain degree. And she's covered in this yellow. She's doing something here. There's like, poppies are symbolic of death in many cultures. And so this symbolic representation of death is that she's transforming, and she's letting the old version of herself die so that she can reinstate her personal power. So there's some sort of calling back of our personal power that's taking place at this time. This eye is attached to a nerve ending. At the end of the nerve ending, attaching it to the brain, I see this spark of light. So there's some sort of lens or perception that we've recently removed from our life. It's like how we're perceiving the information is drastically different. So whoever this message is for, you understand that the process is important. Okay, so if you don't understand that and you feel like really upset that there's a process, this may not be your reading. You can wait and see. But here with this dark object that's moving in and infiltrating, this is what they were highlighting when I said that we may need an element of protection. This element of protection, if you notice that dark shape, that doesn't look like it fits in. It's unlike anything else inside this card. It's almost like it was a mistake, but it's not. It's a part of this image. And this is telling me that there's some sort of misaligned energy that may be trying to infiltrate us at this vulnerable time. It's feeling very interpersonal, so this may be happening through other people. So for example, you're in this raw emotional state, and all of a sudden somebody blows through and they're like, I think you're in a raw emotional state, let me say these things to you, that energy. And so some of you may have people doing these things to you right now. And so just remember, have your priorities. Where's your perception? Where's your focus? Keep your focus on those things. Don't allow other people's poison to seduce you out of your vibration. Okay, because it's not worth it. It's not worth it. What that winds up manifesting is not worth it. So, everybody and their mother is going to have an opinion and a thought and idea, and I guarantee you a lot of them are going to have very negative ones. It's just life, baby. Let them have it. Let them have it. It doesn't mean that you have to absorb it. You don't have to internalize it. It's not about you at the end of the day. It rarely is. So projections abound is kind of the energy that's coming through. Someone may be trying to project some negativity your way, or trying to project some toxicity your way. So just, make sure your priority and your focus is in the right place. That's really a lot of all the protection most people need. Okay, having your beliefs in order, understanding your sovereignty, remembering your personal power, remembering that you are a divine being, and allowing yourself to really allow yourself to fold, right? Unfold those layers. The idea that what someone says can actually penetrate you, that it can actually hurt you, and obviously if it does manage to hurt you, sit with it, process it, ask yourself why, right? Because oftentimes if it does manage to hurt you, it's illuminating some sort of wound. So let's see. Okay, now let's go ahead. Oh, we're pulling one more card from this. Okay. So this is a really beautiful energy, because there's something here that's moving. When we get this type of momentum and this unstoppable force behind it, it really does mean that this is happening for you. Okay? And I think that a lot of you know that, whatever this is. We have to create some space. Again, you are moving away from something. And for some of you, you may actually be creating space between yourself and others at this time. We have the card that I believe this may have come up in yesterday's reading. I can't remember, but we have this card. It's let go. It's feeling really familiar to me, so this may have shown up recently. So again, I feel that we've let go of something. We're creating some space inside of our life. We're having these perception shifts. As we become more conscious, there's unconscious agents that are coming in, and it doesn't mean they're entirely unconscious. It's just that they're unconscious enough to be used by the collective shadow that will still try to keep you in the vibration of your old nature, your old identity. Not because it's evil, but because we are the collective, and we understand more than anybody that we don't like change, right? This is one of the reasons why it's important to embrace change, to be okay with the change, even if the change looks terrible, even if the change breaks your heart. because ultimately that change is moving you along to an energy that you're meant to be in. It may not be right away, but if you trust in it, it's moving you to exactly where you need to be. Okay? It's when we struggle that doesn't go so well. The struggle isn't always physical. Sometimes the struggle is inside our beliefs, our emotions, our desires. It's your resonance. Okay. Ace of Wands, willpower, willpower, willpower. The Ace of Wands is the magician's fire. A lot of times when we get into like esoteric stuff, we tend to just think and study the symbols, and we think that that's the key, that's the point. The symbols are a language, right? So symbolically, what's the language of the wand? It's your willpower, it's your desire. So that's what this reading is really about. It's about focusing in your desire, your willpower. Some of you, I almost feel that, you may be needing to protect at this time, which is why that came up in the beginning, but it almost feels like that's the focus of this reading, is really protecting your sovereignty in this time of vulnerable transition, because the resonance that you have during this transition may greatly impact where it is that you do land, right? Transition places, I mean, they're the same as liminal spaces. They're very, very important. They're extremely important to manifestation. So, it's okay to be sad about things. It's okay to grieve. It's okay to be afraid. It's okay to have all those things. But the thing that you really want to hold deep inside and keep coming back to, allow yourself to keep coming back to it, not in a spiritual bypassing way, but hopefully in a knowing way that it's all happening for you, right? It's exactly as it should be. If you look back at your life, you can see that most of the things that happened in your life, if you're at a certain point in your healing journey, obviously if you're still really struggling with traumas that happened in your childhood, this may not be, the right time for you to see this. It might not be something that you can actually see. And the evidence of it may not have come across, your life yet, and that's okay. Give it time. I promise you it will. If you look back, it's like, well, wow, all that happened for this. Maybe you had a really traumatic childhood, and you look back and you're like, wow, this is exactly why I'm a psychic empath. This is what gives me the ability that I have now to bless other people. Or, if I didn't have that really bad relationship, it would have never caused me to stand on my 2 feet, or to learn about myself, or to grow. Challenge, heartache, traumas, they force us to grow. That's essentially what they do. They're agents of growth inside of our life. With this Ace of Wands, we're calling back that power. We're directing our willpower. This is really getting to the core of who we are, and understanding that our desires are made manifest through the lens of our beliefs, of our emotions. Whoever this message is for, again, obviously very heavy on the manifestation thing. So I think a lot of you are actually delving into that or looking into it. You may have even noticed that manifestation videos that normally don't appear on your feed are appearing on your feed. Some of you, this is going to lean a little bit more into magical work, right? You might be getting more into witchcraft or into like ceremonial magic, shamanism, things where you're really trying to influence and focus the energies. So it can go either way, because really at the core, at the end of the day, they're both trying to accomplish the same thing. And I do think that in a lot of magical training, the manifestation aspect with those 3 core principles, as I like to call them, about the magician's tools, the alignment of the fire, the air, the water, that's often missed. And it's just simply ritual tools. And so if you can really learn manifestation, not like all the woo weird stuff that's kind of floating around there, but find a solid teacher that really grounds the information down for you, and get those 3 things in order, and approach your magical training or your magical practice with that in mind. Really, that's how you really unfold beautifully and really empower yourself beautifully. When you have the other stuff in the way, like you have negative beliefs, this is one of the reasons why people will find that what they do doesn't necessarily work. So I'm going into it for a reason, so someone out there must need to know that. Okay. We have the King of Pentacles. This is about our stability. And it's not just our stability. This is about what it is that we're manifesting. Remember, the Pentacles is the manifestation of the Wands, is the Swords and the Cups. Okay. If I know someone's going to ask me about that, so I'm going to go into it briefly. Your beliefs cloud your, you have your desires, which are clouded by your beliefs or helped by your beliefs, which then form your emotions. Your emotions arise out of your beliefs, which is why we have to take responsibility for our emotions in most cases. Actually, in all cases, but there's times where I think it warrants to be pissed off about certain things. But that aside, having those three things really create our pinnacle, our outward reality, right? It's our manifestation, it's earth, it's the physical. And so that's what the King of Pentacles is showing us here, that this is the time that you have now, this transition time where the momentum is going. It's almost like, hey, you have a valley coming up. What is it going to look like? You get to choose now. It's pick your story time, right? So think hard now. If you recognize that you are in a place where you are moving away from something, you can stop it if you tried, and you recognize that it is happening for you. Because I feel that whoever this message is for this type of energy to come out, because this is, this is not necessarily like beginner stuff. If this energy is coming out, you've been on a healing journey, right? You are understanding your personal responsibility and your own sovereignty over your energy and how to take your power back from situations and what you deserve, which is why you're on this movement in the first place. And if that's you, really get firm with yourself about, what do I want? If you want a trick for manifestation, ask yourself what you want. Then ask yourself why you don't have it, right? And then that's going to kind of show you the direction that those beliefs are. You can really find out a lot about your beliefs by asking yourself, what do I want? And why do I think I don't have it, or what's the belief getting in the way? So start with asking yourself what you want. And when you have the vision of what you want, whether it's a feeling or a visual, allow yourself to combine those things. If you're not a visual person, you can do just a feeling and the knowing that I can have these things. These are things that I can have, and visualize it. Allow yourself to sit in that energy, because visualizing and feeling it, that is resonance. That is that energy. And the more you put yourself inside that energy, the more you embody that energy. The more you embody that energy, the more you're retraining your mind that this is the reality that you're supposed to be in. So someone's identity is shifting. And, there's like a really good practice that I saw once, where it's like to sit down and really devote some time to the identity that you identify with, and then writing out the identity you want to identify with, right? And where is it different, and how do you start making steps to move into the new identity, step by step, in small ways. This is the best way to manifest a new life for yourself. Whoever this message is for, these are all things that you can try to do now. It's like, I kind of feel like the messages that are coming through for this month, because this Cancer season, I'm not going to lie, this Cancer season is going to be real rough on some people. And that's okay, right? I got a lot of warriors here. And remember, your warrior is still a child. So take care of that inner child. Give it attention, give it time, acknowledge your feelings about it, but also remember to empower yourself. And as you're going through this space, I feel like there's going to be more support coming through these readings in terms of kind of like what I was talking about with the channel membership, the energy dynamics, the way that certain things work and operate. And you might feel that it doesn't work that way for you. Feel free to release it, right? But you may still get something in there. Here I want to pay attention to these three colors that are showing up prominently. We have red, blue, and yellow. These are the prime colors. And anytime I see these colors, it makes me think of the three raw materials in alchemy. And it's like there's an alchemical process happening here for sure. And that process, it can start over and it can restart and it can happen again and it can fail and then we can go back to the drawing board. This feels like a whole new thing. So you are absolutely on a brand new path where you are facing some new obstacles and exploring some new beautiful energy. You may not feel like you're experiencing those two things just yet, because it is very transitionary here, very like transitional. But I almost feel this bittersweet / hope kind of coming in. So I think some of you have this sort of what we would normally perceive as negative, which is just really another emotion inside the human experience being juxtaposed with something that we normally consider a very beautiful emotion. And these two things combined, this is alchemy, right? This is the heating and the cooling. This is the wetting and the drying. This is this is the space in which we as sovereign beings, we come here to Earth to experience this very moment, this very energy, where we're getting to, grieve something while being hopeful for something new, and understanding that there's a new vista of possibility that's opening up in the removal of another energy from your life, or at least a mitigation of it. So heavy, heavy, heavy manifestation time right now for whoever this message is for, if this is resonating for you. Okay. I can't even make that up. Magician card. Need I say more? Need I say more? So let's go ahead. I'm going to pull, because there are so many like emotional qualities to the readings that have been coming through. I'm going to pull a couple of these and let's see what we get. I'm not even going to try to tie these in. I'm just going to read them because I really feel like they're going to speak to certain people. We're going to get 3, 2. And then the bottom as well. Okay. Okay. We're going to take the bottom first. I'm hearing, so we have smoke signals. Something subtle is trying to get your attention. Don't wait for the full fire to believe it's real. Okay, so I feel that that's really going to resonate for somebody who's at the very beginning of this journey of this momentum picking up. Okay. It's like we're still maybe teetering on the edge of deciding whether we need to do something, or if we're on the right path with something. Okay. Here we have burn the script. You don't have to keep playing the part they wrote for you. Burn the script, rewrite the plot, make it legendary. Oh, I love it. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Figure out what this valley is going to look like for you. Figure out what the future you want is, what it is that you want to experience next. Put it out into the universe, hold it in your heart, hold it in your vibration. Work on any beliefs that you have that are standing in the way of that, and remember that you are special. Think about all the things that had to happen to like make you here. Like really think about that. There's stuff in your body that is literally star stuff. Just like the chances it took to create you, and you want to think you're not worthy of something? No, don't do that to me. Yeah, so work on those beliefs. You have every right to be here. You have every right to belong here, to have friends here, to have love here, to have a place here, to flourish here, right? Here we have radical hope. In a world littered with chaos and darkness, choosing hope is the wildest form of rebellion. And here, love is real. Love is not a myth. Your heartbreak just made it easier to spot what isn't it. Don't let past wounds rewrite the truth. Okay? So just some things to ponder. And I'm going to leave this here. So if this resonates with you, please hit that like button. Feel free to leave me a comment. And until next time.